Any any example do we have in our life in which we get into such things, but we stick to the lower attachment or the lower rule that we follow?
One example I can give, Prabhuji, is from our daily life is when we work, we often look for recognition or the outcomes. We focus more on that which is of lower taste. But if we offer it, we do it as we are serving the Lord, then we can get easily detached from the
Um,
recognition.
yeah, I mean that is a good example, but it is like not worrying about the results.
Yeah.
So if I am asking kind of example where we are practically giving up something we are liking and doing something opposite which Lord will like. Not exactly offering the results of karma, but
Uh, instead of sitting and watching or scrolling through the WhatsApp and YouTube and all that, giving up that and then like, doing
okay.
kirtan,
That is
chanting.
yes, yes. That is a good example also. Anything little higher, like that is like watching movies and all is mode of ignorance, let's say, or passion. Then we are giving up that and we're taking up bhakti. I am saying little bit more closer where it is difficult to give up, but we're giving. You know.
Like Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Uh,
maybe like that sleeping or spending time with family. For example, previously we spent time. For example, if wife asks, we can go out. No, I need to go to temple for service, so that we can sacrifice. I mean, little bit, not fully, but that we are.
yeah, means not on that front. I understood your means all of your answers. Anything else? I'm looking for little better
Hare,
example. Hmm.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I don't know whether I am right or wrong. Getting up early for the sake of Lord Krishna to do devotional service like reading Bhagavatam, chanting, and all, which we
Yeah.
used to not do
So,
before.
all of you are giving nice examples, giving up lower taste and taking up higher taste, which is absolutely right. I agree. Okay,
No,
maybe I will
you
give. Yes.
accept it. Whatever you decide, whatever you find, you accept it.
Mm-hmm. What is your name? I am seeing Poco M4.
Samataji.
Sipra?
Samataji.
Sorry, I
Hare
didn't hear
Krishna.
it. Hare
Hare
Krishna?
Krishna. Samataji.
Sipra, right. Okay, understood. Uh-huh.
Prabhuji taking up vratas
Taking up vratas.
uh, and leaving our own desire for eating particular substance on that.
Okay. Means all of you are correct. I will tell you maybe better example. You would be worshipping many devatas. Okay. Huh? You all,
You are
I'm just
telling me, Prabhuji.
no, Mataji, we all see. I was about to tell, but you only brought out this point of giving one example. I'm saying we all worshipped many devatas. So giving up YouTube and all, maybe that is a tamoguni activity. So that is also correct. But I am telling something which is already people consider as a pure platform, which is worshipping devatas, worshipping devis, worshipping teachers, worshipping our idols, idols, people in the society. So people find very difficult to give up because they are very much attracted and attached to that. Sometimes it is coming from the family also, sometimes it is coming from society, sometimes it is out of our like we have received some benefit or help or felt protected and sheltered in the past, and that is why it is there. But right now we are dovetailing towards Krishna. That kind of example is more appropriate where it is goodness and pure goodness or more goodness. So this kind of example is more suitable for our daily life. Or maybe there are some rituals that our family follows, but right now that is not necessary in Krishna consciousness. And that is very difficult to give up. But we are giving it up, some rules, some regulations, but not to break. We are not doing it to break any rules and regulations. We are doing it to please the Lord. Like for an example, I will tell you this example I've maybe quoted in the class many a times. In the past times of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was this servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name was Govinda. Can all of you switch on your camera? Yeah. So there was this servant named Govinda. He was a very dear servant to the Lord. So the Lord normally will do in the entire night, he will be dancing in Shiva Sangan with ecstasy, with all this. So he will not have a track of time. उनको समय का पता नहीं चलेगा. वो हमेशा कीर्तन में रहते थे. संकीर्तन he will be always doing. And then what will happen? Entire night he will be tired, not tired, in ecstasy. And then in the morning, let's say everyone will go for some little rest. Then they will go for their own programs. And this Govinda was had to go. He is a personal secretary to Mahaprabhu, so he has to go and cook food for Mahaprabhu, so that the moment Mahaprabhu wakes up, he has to offer, bhoga to the Lord, bhoga to Mahaprabhu to have it. So now Mahaprabhu was sleeping at a place where it is next to the kitchen door.
Yeah.
Now, in order to go to
Cross, he has
the
to
kitchen,
cross
he has
and
to cross. So
Mm.
ideally, you cannot cross the Lord. It is offensive. It is highly offensive. No one will recommend in Shastra that you
Cross that.
cross by jumping. But he did that. He did that. Why? To serve a more higher purpose. That is what? What is the higher purpose here?
to serve Mahaprabhu.
To serve Mahaprabhu, that when he is available, he needs
Yeah.
food. He cannot say that Mahaprabhu wakes up and he asks, "Where is Prasad?" Then he will say, "I couldn't jump because of the rule that I cannot jump." That is not doesn't make any sense. So higher rule is you can break that rule even if it is given in the scripture to please the Lord. Because the bhogas, you know the emotion of the Lord. You know the mind of the Lord. He will be asking, craving for Prasad. So then he did that. Now after he cooked, the vessels are actually outside. Means the eating vessels, I mean to say the water facility and everything. So the Mahaprabhu actually was not waking up for a very long time. But he has the devotee, Govind, is ready with Prasad. That the moment Lord wakes up, I will serve him. And he is waiting and he is waiting. He's not complaining. He's not worried. He's relaxed, sitting and chanting. His name's inside the kitchen after cooking prasad. Lord is not waking up. He is not also waking up the Lord that, oh Lord, I have prepared and you are not, ready to take. Not that. He is waiting. And the Lord wakes up. And even if he is feeling hungry now, still he is not jumping and going to the next to have before the Lord or even make the plates ready. Why he was not doing that? If he can do once, he can do the other way around also, right? So here, what is the higher rule and what is the lower rule?
Pleasing the Lord is the higher rule.
Yeah, waking up the Lord is sorry, here is the thing is that now the same rule which he made as lower rule, that crossing the Lord in the first instance, became a higher rule for him. For his own sake, that he will have prasad or he will go out for something else, he didn't do. He considered that as a lower rule and crossing the Lord to be a higher rule. He didn't do that. This is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The same rule doesn't apply when he is returning. I mean, you see this. Okay. So a devotee has to be very expert in understanding that how he is not interchanging the rules. The mood is same to please the Lord. Lord should be in a comfortable position, not me. It is okay if I'm not having prasad. Even Lord got angry after waking up on him that why you didn't have it out of his love. But still Govinda actually waited that no Lord, I cannot have until you are having it. So we should be very much aware ki what we are attached to. Many people very attached to many things. They don't give up. That is a blocker. It is not about, I'm not saying only about sleep or watching something or listening to something. Of course, these are there. Even higher to that, subtle attachments are also there to some rituals, to some rules, to some family, procedures. ठीक है ना? So, to some things, that is also stopping us to accept Krishna consciousness or some understanding we have, some Puranas we have read some Upanishads, we have read, even that is stopping us.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
In Bhagavad Gita 2.59, Krishna says that it is very difficult to control senses from sense objects. Even if you do that, that will be very temporary only. You cannot permanently do it. So, because of the vasana, deep-rooted dispositions, what we are having in our mind, that is the reason why we are not able to withdraw our senses from the sense objects and come to the transcendental state. So, in order to achieve that, first of all, we have to get rid of the dispositions what we are having, the vasanas, attachment what we are having for the lower taste in our mind. And for that, he is saying that we have to dovetail our vasanas, our disposition to higher taste, so that automatically the lower taste will leave its importance. In that
Yeah.
way only one can reach, otherwise one cannot reach. How can we relate these two? What we are talking now and 2.58.
There is no difference. You see, Mataji, so there are many things which are gross. There are many things which are subtle.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we discuss about sense objects, whatever the senses like, that you all shared in the beginning, right? Sense like to eat
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
drink
yeah.
something. So that is a gross attachment.
Okay. Material attachment.
Everything else is material apart from Krishna.
Okay.
In attachments also there are some gross, there are some subtle.
Subtle, yeah.
So gross attachments are visible
Mm.
and can be seen that people are growing. I have given up eating meat. That is a gross attachment they have left out. You know,
Mm.
I have gave up watching this or doing that. That is a gross attachment they have given up. That is the sloka 2.59. First is that when someone gives up gross attachment, they start working on subtle attachments. You know, subtle attachments is what we are discussing now. They will take out from the scripture something and they will say, you see, this is valid. We have to do. In the first gross level attachment, they were not following scriptures actually. It could be like that. But here they are following scriptures, but they are not understanding that even to that also there is a higher thing. Hmm? That means, let's say, that rule we discussed that we cannot. Sometimes it happens, you know, like when I'm in DT services, in the inside the altar, अभी भगवान को आपको सजाना है. You have to decorate the Lord. Do you know that we have to stand also on that altar, right?
Yeah.
Normally we should not stand on the altar. But on that times we stand on the altar. Why? Sometimes we go onto the top of Lord, let's say some thing is there, we stand on that and we decorate. How that is done? I mean to say, just asking. Like because you are understanding that you are not offending the Lord by doing that. You are actually taking permission and doing in order to make his darshan ready, you know, that everyone will love to do so. So that is little subtle. People might think, yeah, I cannot do that. How I can do that? It is different. It's difficult to give up some rules, what we are following, that is given in scripture, that my family has been practicing, I have been practicing. So these are subtle things. Like how Kama, Krodha, Lova, Moha, these are subtle things. People might follow four regulative principles, devotees, but they are not able to give up these things, you know. So examples like that. So subtle things also has to be given up. Overall, everything has to be given up. It is not like only this or that.
So may I take it that 2.59 talks only about material attachments, and this particular sloka talks about the spiritual attachment, transcendental
No,
attachment
no.
also,
Again, gross metal attachments, subtle metal attachments.
subtle material attachments.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Scripture based, but it could be material. It has nothing to do with material means whatever will not bring you closer to Krishna is material.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Even on this we'll discuss today. I will share the sloka today. It is similar and related. So that is the reason why I brought this topic of what we discussed. So everybody please keep attention that 1 second. Yeah. So everybody please pay attention so that we remember what we're discussing. So 3.35 today. Shreyan Svadharma Vigunaha.
Shreyanshu
Swamsho
Dharma
dharma viguna
Shreyan Swadharma Vigunaha Paradharmat Swanostisthat Paradharmat Anuштisthat
Paradharma Swanustištvat
Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha
Swadharma
Paradharmo Bhayavaha Paradharmo Bhayavayaha. Thank you. Shreyan means far better. Swadharmaha, one's prescribed duty. Vigunaha is even faulty. Paradharma is than duties mentioned for others. Su anustisthat, perfectly done. Shwadharme, in one's prescribed duties. Nidhanam, destruction. Shreyaha, better. Paradharmaha, duties prescribed for others. Bhaya avahaha, dangerous. Translation. Can you repeat after me? It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties,
It is
It is a
far
far
It is
better
better
far
to
better to
discharge
discharge
one's
one's prescribed
prescribed
duties,
duties,
even though faultily,
even
even
though
though
faultily,
faultily,
than another's duties perfectly.
than
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 another's
another's
duties
duties
perfectly.
perfectly.
Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty
Destruction in the
Destruction
course
in
of
the course of
performing
performing
one's
one's
own
own
duty
duty
is better than engaging in another's duties.
is
is
better than
better than
engaging in
engaging in
another's
another's
duties.
duties.
For to follow another path is dangerous.
Or to
For
follow
to
another's
follow
path
another's
is
path is
dangerous.
dangerous.
This is a very, very highly quoted sloka. कि ये कहते हैं कि आपका नेचर जो है ना उसके हिसाब से आप कर्म करो. किसी और का कर्म आप परफेक्टली करने से अच्छा है कि आप अपना कर्म गलतियों से करो. So even though faultily, do your own duties rather than doing anyone else duty perfectly.
perfectly.
आप किसी और का ड्यूटी परफेक्टली कर रहे हो उससे अच्छा है कि आप अपना ड्यूटी गलतियों से करो. And that will lead to destruction if you are doing like if you are performing one one's duty, not performing one's duty and engaging in others' duties, it will lead to destruction. Okay, that is what is mentioning. But there is a higher rule to this that Krishna is little hiding here, but in the purport we'll get it. Okay, so that we'll discuss and is related to what we discussed until now. So one devotee can help me in reading the purport.
May I
Hare
read
Krishna.
Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, maybe half of Gita Mataji and Shabrish Prabhu. You can start and stop in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should therefore discharge his prescribed duties in full Krishna consciousness rather than those prescribed for others. Materially prescribed duties or duties enjoined according to one's psychophysical condition under the spell of the modes of material nature. Spiritual duties are as ordered by the spiritual master for the transcendental service of Krishna. But whether material or spiritual, one should stick to his prescribed duties even up to death rather than imitate another's prescribed duties. Duties on the spiritual platform and duties on the material platform may be different, but the principle of following the authorized direction is always good for the performer. When one is under the spell of the modes of material nature, one should follow the prescribed rules for the particular situation and should not imitate others. For example, a Brahmana who is in the mode of goodness is non-violent, whereas a Kshatriya who is in the mode of passion is allowed to be violent. As such, for a Kshatriya, it is better to be vanquished following the rules of violence rather than to imitate a Brahmana who follows the principle of non-violence. Everyone has to cleanse
Maybe you
his,
can stop here, Mataji. Yeah. Prabhu can.
cleanse his heart by a gradual process, not abruptly.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Sabrish Prabhu, you can start from here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. However, when one transcends the mode of material nature and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness, he can perform anything and everything under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. In that complete stage of Krishna consciousness, the Kshatriya may act as a Brahmana or a Brahmana may act as a Kshatriya. In the transcendental stage, the distinctions of the material world do not apply. For example, Vishwamitra was originally a Kshatriya, but later on he acted as a Brahmana, whereas Parasurama was a Brahmana, but later on he acted as a Kshatriya. Being transcendentally situated, they could do so. But as long as one is on the material platform, he must perform his duties according to the modes of material nature. At the same time, he must have a full sense of Krishna consciousness.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are things which Krishna has said, and then our acharyas have also added that. Along with that, some extra information is there, which will be very much helpful. So I would like you to just go through. Maybe it is a very small purport, but very much helpful and meaningful if we take it to our mind and heart. So quickly share your points, maybe 1-2 minutes, and then we can go for little discussions. You can maybe highlight what was extra thing that Prabhupada mentioned, or what is your realization to your practical life. Every time we should always consider that whatever we are discussing, okay, one is philosophy to understand. Second is application. Okay, today this sloka, how can I apply my in my life? So that should be your point here in discussion. Then it is the right way. Okay, so please put Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing beautiful points. All of your points are nice. We'll start with the first line. Prabhupada is first concluding, okay, before telling anything, that one should therefore discharge his prescribed duties in full KC rather than those prescribed for others. What is the meaning of prescribed duty?
As per
Because if you, yeah,
Svadharma,
sorry.
as per that Svadharma, three gunas of the material nature. And because Arjuna said earlier in the second chapter and first chapter that instead of fighting and creating problems the family and all that, I will better go give the country to them, and I will go and begging and live the rest life in the forest. So begging is the duty given to and brahmanas and sannyasis and brahmacharis. It is not given to kshatriyas.
Kshatriyas.
So that is the reason why here he is replying that question, while he is replying that it is not your duty. So instead of doing others duty perfectly, it is better to do your duty. Even there is a flaw, like Varna Shankara will come, like this one will come, all those things, even if it happens also, it is better you should do your duty. And I think that is the connection with this.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
What about others? What is prescribed duty? Prescribed means क्या है? Duties we know. Prescribed duties means
Based on the
Following
scripture,
Varnashrama.
Varnashrama Dharma.
following
Based on the
Varnashrama Dharma. Okay.
based on the structure of the scriptures and that whatever that Shiksha Guru
Based on the scriptures. Okay.
special master structure.
So these prescribed duties are spiritual duties or not? Because it is based on scriptures.
Both, Prabhu.
Yes,
If
Prabhu.
material duties which are given, it is for our elevation to spiritual platform.
So they are spiritual or not?
If we follow it properly for whatever goal it is mentioned, yeah, it is spiritual. If we do it only for the sake of our sense gratification, then it's not.
Okay, so duty is mentioned in the scriptures, but it is not spiritual and it is spiritual. That is where you are all are split, right? So what is basically prescribed? If you see, let's say someone is smoking, right? And his lungs, report came that his lungs are very much gone, He is in a very difficult stage. Then the doctor says that I am giving a prescription where there are some medicines that you have to take and all. That is okay. Apart from that, you have to reduce your smoking to maybe 2 times in a week. So from out of 7, he has given him 2. So the goal from the doctor's side is what? That abruptly nothing can be changed. Everything should be gradual. So the prescription that he has given is you take the medication, take this food habit, take this exercise and everything else. Along with that, you smoke only twice. So he actually wants to make the person give up smoking. But still some rule is applied that you can smoke 2 days. Because why? Why this rule is applied? He could have said that you quit smoking from today. Right? That is what.
0.59
He
because
won't be able to do because
that
he was a
vasana
chain
will be there,
smoker.
disposition will be there, so he will go back. Even if you stopped abruptly, it will be for a temporary
That
time.
is called as one's psychophysical condition. Okay. And what is mentioned? Prescribed duties are duties given according to one's psychophysical condition. कि भाई ये क्या कर पाएगा अभी? What he can do? If I gave him everything, he will not do. Right? So that is called prescribed duty. And before starting this word, what is written?
Materially.
Materially. Even if it is coming from scripture, materially speaking, even prescribed duties are material duties. Svadharma is material duties. Under the why it is material? Because it is under the spell of 3 gunas. 3 गुणों में जो भी आएगा वो तो मेटेरियल है, राइट? एवरीथिंग दैट कम्स इन 3 गुणas, सतोगुणी है, रजोगुणी है, तमोगुणी है. It is not nothing related to Krishna. Even in the scriptures also many things are there. See, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita are different. Other scriptures are also there, And even in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, if your interpretation is wrong, even that also will appear material to you, like other scriptures, depending on our perception. Okay. So here it is based on psychophysical condition, people can follow prescribed duty. And spiritual duties, not coming from scripture directly, it is coming from spiritual master. Of course, scriptures are there, that is what, but the scriptures juice who is bringing us to us, spiritual master, for the transcendental service of Krishna. That is spiritual duties. Okay. Now coming to all of your answers. You said ki varnashrama dharma, anyone is following, that is prescribed duties. Earlier there were kshatriyas properly, there were brahmana properly, vaishya properly, sudra properly. They were following their duties. So there was a distinction that we were able to see. Now, do we see such distinctions in
All are
society?
Sudras.
All are mixed, interchanged, or all are sudras, whatever you say. So actually we are not following varnashrama dharma. They were following. For that reason, we were telling that, okay, you are a Kshatriya. I will tell what is the meaning of following. Why Krishna actually said that you don't change your Varna by saying that you will become, that Gita Mataji was sharing, that Ankita Mataji also said that don't go to forest and start begging and all, become a mendicant, renunciate, you be a Kshatriya. Because the moment he goes to forest, okay, he will start begging. Okay, fine. Now, you know what is the property of a Brahmana? Brahmana cannot get angry. He should tolerate. Brahmana should tolerate offenses. आप ब्राह्मण को कितना भी बोलो, कितना भी कुछ करो, वो टॉलरेट करेगा, बिकॉज ही इज नॉलेजेबल. He will tolerate, he have patience. Kshatriya, on the other hand, is not a tolerable person. He is first intolerant person. He has to fight. In the first instance, when his self-esteem has been crushed, he has to fight. Brahmana is not like that. Brahmana has to tolerate. He can run away. Brahmana can run away from the battlefield because he doesn't have to go to battlefield. He can hide also because his purpose is not to do all those. Brahmana should not give up his nature. Similarly, Kshatriya should be always intolerant to any adharmic activities. Now Arjuna was asked that you go to forest, don't go to forest, because Krishna knew today he will go to forest and start begging, and this fight will happen or not happen. Leave it. Tomorrow in forest also, if something troubles him, he will get intolerant and he will handle the weapon. Then he is also not a Brahmana there, right? Anymore. So he will do that mistake. So why you want to do something which is not your nature? Do you know Chanakya? All of you know Chanakya, right? You know Chanakya was offended by a king named Nanda. You just see his story. So much heavy offenses. So much. But he tolerated all. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything at all. What he did, you know? Why he didn't do anything? Because a Brahmana has to tolerate. He is not a Kshatriya that he will bring out weapon and kill that person or fight with that person. He trained a young prince named Chandragupta.
Chandragupta Maurya.
Chandragupta Maurya he trained because Chandragupta was a Kshatriya. He trained a Kshatriya, and Kshatriya brought down that empire of Nanda. Okay. So Brahmana will not do against his nature. He will preserve his nature. You know this Muni, in Ramayana, I think Vishwamitra, no, not Vishwamitra, Vasishta. You know Vasishta Muni. He was a great, he's a Brahmana. He knows everything. He knows how to pull arrows, how to shoot, how to kill the demons. But when he and his disciples were attacked by Marichi, I think Marichi and Subahu, right? Subahu and Marichi. Then what he did? Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah, correct, Prabhu. Marichi and
मरीचि एंड
Subhahu.
सुबाहु के द्वारा वो अटैक हुए थे. उनको सब पता है भाई. वशिष्ठ he is considered राज ऋषि, ब्रह्म ऋषि, ब्रह्म ऋषि, राज ऋषि से ऊपर ब्रह्म ऋषि. So he was considered, he knows everything, he can fight, but he did not fight. He can just fight in an instance and kill Subahu and Marichi. He went to Dasarath Maharaj and he said that I need your sons because they are Kshatriya. And then he utilized them. The Lord came and then they killed Subahu and Marichi.
I think it was Vishwamitra, right?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it was Vishwamitra Muni.
Vishwamitra. Okay, Vishwamitra. Okay, Vasishtha was the, I think, royal
Guru of,
Purohit.
Guru,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a guru for all those people.
Yes,
But
yes,
Prabhuji,
yes.
I have got one doubt in this case.
What we'll discuss. We'll discuss. Just let me
Same
conclude
case.
first.
Same.
Let me conclude. Just you type the question, Madaji. Okay.
You finish off, I will ask.
Yes, yes, yeah, okay. So now that he also remained, in some such situations. Because a Brahmana has to preserve his situation, you cannot change your nature. But right now it is not like that. Right now everything is mixed. The same time we are able to carry a weapon, the same time we are saying will follow knowledge. If you ask ourselves, we are not true to any varna right now. If you see the society also. So what Prabhupada has said in his lecture, in Kali Yuga, because things are mixed, you can consider your nature to be what you're liking. Some people are liking creative things. They can continue in creative things. Maybe they are kind of they want to they are interested in gathering knowledge from scriptures, following them, preaching to others. They can be and purity and all they are following. So they can be called as Brahmana. Or your inclination is to give up your life for the country and help the people and protect everyone. That could be a Kshatriya mentality, but everything is partial, mixed little bit. That clear definition is not followed in Kali Yuga. So it is a bit difficult. Now, prescribed duties are applicable to us or no? Now, question is now because we are not following proper Varnashram Dharma. So, prescribed duties actually are applicable to all of us, but we are not able to make right use of it. So, what should we do? Here, I will show you one thing. It is written that what Krishna said is given here in the first purport Prabhupada is giving that a Brahmana is always non-violent. A Kshatriya is always allowed to be violent. Allowed. For a Kshatriya, it is better to give up his life, following the rule. Like in a war, he should give up his life or win the war and come back. He is not allowed to return home by running away from the battlefield. Either तुम मारो या मर के आओ, but don't just run out and come back. He is not allowed. But a Brahmana can do so because he has to follow principles of non-violence. So everyone has to cleanse his heart by a gradual process, not abruptly. This is for whom? This is for people who are following Varnashrama Dharma. Now, however, when one transcends the mode of material nature, यानी कि ये तीन गुणों के ऊपर चला गया है, and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness, he can perform anything and everything under the direction of spiritual master. So whatever spiritual masters say, they can do. Doesn't necessarily mention that you have to follow a particular nature, but they have to be fully Krishna conscious. And in that complete stage only, a Kshatriya can act as a Brahmana, Brahmana can act as a Kshatriya, anyone can do anything. Only if they are fully Krishna conscious. They are not bound by the prescribed rules in the scripture. Even if scripture is so important, but scriptures also say about transcendental stage of Krishna consciousness, that is Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And there is no much distinction. The distinctions of the material world do not apply to this spiritual people. And an example is given of Vishwamitra that he was originally Kshatriya, but later on, as we discussed now, he acted as a Brahmana. And Parsuram was a Brahmana, but later on he acted as a Kshatriya because they were on transcendental platform, Krishna consciousness fully. They could do so because they are transcendental. To ordinary people, this is not recommended. Now we are in which stage? We are neither in a transcendental stage, neither in a Varnasrama stage. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
We are in a process. We are in the process of, we want to be in the transcendental stage. We want to be in the complete stage of Krishna consciousness. Then what should we do? So should we follow or should we not follow? Here it is written, as long as one is on the metal platform, means we are still on the metal platform to some extent. Even if our transcendental activities have increased, but it is not always transcendental. So he must perform his duties according to the modes of nature, at the same time be always Krishna conscious. That means we should still continue to protect our nature. The example that even Prabhu gave, Chaitanya Prabhu gave, software engineer example, or our, so there is no need of, even Gita Mataji gave similar example. There is no need of any comparison. Your duties, your capacity, based on your nature, you do your duty, but be in that duty 100% Krishna conscious. I will give one more example for that. People are doing preaching, people are doing DT services, people are doing cooking, many things are doing. There are some people, even our devotees in our temple also, they are only doing flower services since many years. Maybe more than 25 years, 30 years. They are so much focused that we'll do only flower services. There are some devotees who are only doing cooking service because that is their nature. It's not like they're bored. Every day they want to do more beautiful service to the Lord. It also doesn't mean that they only know that. They are very much attached to that service to the Lord. And with that, even if they are on a metal platform, but they're practicing spiritual activities and with full Krishna consciousness as an offering to the Lord they're doing, they will slowly one day come to the 100% Krishna conscious stage. Okay. So because they are doing it under the guidance of spiritual master. So that is what we have to understand. So I stop our topic here. Any questions or any
Yeah,
confusion?
one question which I wanted to ask Prabhuji. Dronacharya, he was originally a Brahmin, but he was acting like a Kshatriya. He has taken part in the war and he was teaching martial arts to Pandavas and Kauravas and all that.
Yes.
So, how this was viewed?
How this is to be considered.
Yeah,
So there are many, like we gave example of Chanakya, like he never took violence.
yeah. But Dronacharya is being a Brahmana.
Yeah, yeah. Just I'm saying that this is an answer to your question. But there are many Brahmanas, they actually got angry easily. They were intolerant. It's not like they took weapons like a Kshatriya, but what they did, because of the angriness, they used curses.
Yeah,
उन्होंने क्या है उसको कहते हैं हिंदी में श्राप दिया
yeah. Stab.
गुस्से के कारण श्राप दिया एक्चुअली वी शुड ऑल्सो नो नॉर्मली ब्राह्मणा can give curse is not allowed to give curse because he is not allowed to be angry. The moment he gives curse, what happens, whatever spiritual potency that brahmana has acquired by his tapasya or by his meditation, by his spiritual practices, that goes to zero. So Dronacharya is a classic example. Dronacharya you told, right, Mataji?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it is not Dronacharya, it is Durvasa Muni. Okay, you wanted to
Durvasa
tell.
Muni is a person who gets angry.
Yes, I am speaking about Durvasa Muni. Dronacharya, I didn't see any time giving any curse to anyone.
No, he didn't give any curse.
Yeah, yeah. So we are speaking about Durvasa Muni here. Okay, so don't get please confused. So Durvasa Muni get angry and give curses, let's say. So that is not at a transcendental platform. He is actually reducing his spiritual potency by giving curses. His spiritual power is reducing. It is a credit. Spiritual credit will reduce when you give curses because that is against the rules of a brahmana.
In that case, when the four Sanat Kumaras gave curse to Jaya Vijaya, their spiritual powers also got reduced?
Could have been, definitely. So they cursing was little different because they offended Vaishnava. Okay. Jaya Vijay were Vaishnavas, so that was considered by the Lord. Means Lord has his own ways, So he wanted to fight with someone. He wanted Jai Vijay to be there. He wanted to fight only with his devotees in the roop of Rakshasas and demons, right? So that was the need. So they got the curse from. So they did Vaishnava Prad. They didn't allow four Kumaras to enter the Vaikuntha. So that is a different topic, yeah.
Then
But yes,
the
spiritual
Brahmana who
potencies
cursed
get
Parikshit
reduced.
Maharaj, the Brahmana who cursed Parikshit Maharaj that he will die within 7 days, his the spiritual powers also would have come down?
Yes. That is true for everyone. That is true for everyone. Spiritual power will go down means what you think. It is like they will again have to start from zero.
Like Jadabarda.
Means, see, all these are mutually exclusive examples. Do not always connect, but yes.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions anyone has or any other comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So we have seen that or read that when the sage Parishrama was resting his head on Karna's lap and a scorpion bit. Now Karna was a Kshatriya, basically. So he did not react in the sense that he did not kill that scorpion. He just bared it, and the lap was bleeding. And then Parishrama had cursed Karna. Now my question is like now Karna has bearded. He's a Kshatriya. He did not become violent on that spot. Maybe one reason is that his guru, he didn't want to disturb his guru's good sleep.
Mm-hmm.
One reason, but I'm like there will be a dual nature right there. So he
I will
can be
tell you,
avoidant
Prabhu.
when
See,
situation
Prabhu,
demand, and he
a
will.
Kshatriya is allowed to be violent when they see adharmic activities is happening, not on everything. Now, Karna, there could be many reasons. You told one reason that he didn't want to disturb his guru. There could be other reason. Scorpion biting someone is actually Scorpion's dharma. There is nothing adharmic activity happening there. As a Kshatriya, it is not that they're intolerant to adharmic activities. At the same time, Kshatriya is glorified for being tolerant to good things.
Dharmic activities.
Yes.
Okay.
So there could be many reasons. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other question? Any other comments? Any other takeaway? Anyone
Again,
has?
2.59 and relating to this
Maybe,
book.
maybe just Mataji, 1 second. Yeah. Anything to add? Bharatagraja Prabhu, Prasanjita Prabhu, Chaitanya Prabhu, and Chaitanya Prabhu, anything to add? Bharatagraja Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
No, Prabhuji. I was about to ask you, like, we in material world, like, sometime we have to do some other duties also, even though if we don't know, we have to perform that activity in devotional service also. We have to take up that one. Like, I want to ask, but I was clear, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, I just remembered one point.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, when activities of Krishna or pure devotees are involved, they do not come under the modes of material nature or prescribed duties. They do not apply. Just in the case of like when the Kumaras went to Vaikunta, there you cannot apply the modes of material laws, or everything happens by the will of the Lord. And that is one point I want to add.
Yes. Mhm.
And coming to 2.59, it talks about sense restriction of senses. Actually, what happens is the senses are transcendental. They never they are never inactive. Just for example, if you take our mind, it's always active even in sleep state. So the thing is how the mind is engaged, whether it is spiritual or material. One example can be given on that. Like for example, let's say a person is there who in his entire life he has only eaten Karela, but he hasn't eaten. But in one day, someday he has taken out Rasgulla. Now what happens is that his mind will be hankering after that Rasgulla because he lives out Karela very easily. It's a natural thing. Similarly, when it comes to material and spiritual things, the same thing happens. For example, one person has gone to a club and he dances and enjoys over there. And the same person one day comes to temple and he dances and enjoys over there also. But if he remembers the taste is different. Then he will hanker for that taste. This is how that 2.59 can be explained this way. And moreover, there are people, we see that many people come to temple and they get involved in dancing and chanting, but they do not take up because they did not taste that thing. Just for example, if we are providing the rasgulla but the other person is not able to taste it, then we cannot say anything about that.
Yes. Okay. Very right.
That's it, true. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for adding beautiful points. Thank you, Chaitanya Prabhu. Also, any other devotee would like to ask anything or add anything? Yeah, Prasanjita, you want to add?
Yes, Prabhu. Just adding to Bharatagraja's Prabhu. So, if we are holding something in our hand, so we need to leave that. Without leaving that, we cannot take up to a new thing. For example, my hand is full of dirt. like a sand, I'm holding it. I have to leave that dirt of sand, then only I have to hold it on anything. Similarly, if you are holding on some other things, material or any other things, if you have to leave it, then practice Krishna conscious activities, then
Exactly.
only will get our taste to it.
You cannot have both Krishna and whatever you are holding at the same time. Means it will be not there. Either you are holding Krishna or you are holding something else which you like. Yeah. So
Hare
we have to
Krishna.
give up that. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Other devotees, any comment, any feedback before we wind up? Shankar Prabhu, Mehda Mataji, Mageshwari Mataji, Kirtana, Karishma, Balasaranya Mataji. Yes, no, or wind up.
Nothing from my side, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you all for joining. Panchakalpataru कृपा सिंधु च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. So there will be one meeting that we will schedule. There are some announcements for Janmashtami, what we will do, services in the temple on Janmashtami day, and we are planning some activities as a Janmashtami contest for our circle. That also we will devotees are working on it. So I'll bring it to you. And there are many things happening in the background, like make forming teams for sevas or groups where we are in need of devotees who can help and support the teams and the coordinators. So these are all happening in the background. Maybe it will soon come up in kind of this week or beginning of next week. We'll finalize and bring it. We should not delay for that, and we will start on that also. So please wait for some um, amazing things that is yet to come in, and some surprises are also there. We'll share with you. So yeah, please tune in to the messages that we have been putting in the groups. And thank you all for praying for Guru Maharaj's health. His health is improving, definitely, inch by inch. But yes, it is improving because we just met. His Grace Janaki Raman Prabhu 2 days back, yesterday, and he was sharing that now without tablets, also his blood pressure is being maintained. He is not having fever, and the infections that were there has gone out. He's slowly able to move his body, but very slow. And but the issue is he's still on the bed for much time, and they have given a name to him is. Miracle Swami, okay, the team of doctors, because the thing is that they are not able to find out everything in the report seems to be okay, sometimes okay, but they don't know why he's not able to get up, and sometimes the reports are all bad, but they see him active and hearing to Chaitanya Charitamrita and everything else. So I think they were reading out Adilila chapter 2, some slokas from there, from CC, and they saw that even Guru Maharaj was in tears while that pastime was being read. That happened just 2 days back. So he's very much alert from the mind level. So Prabhuji at the end was sharing that he's kind of in a samadhi. Samadhi means in a full Krishna conscious state, as always they say. So it is not new, but yes, they only wanted him to come out of that stage and be more active, be on the wheelchair and at least. So thank you all for your prayers throughout the day and sadhana. Please continue this, and let's see more updates from them.
According to today's report, latest report, he is even responding to comments. That is what just now I read in the
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah, there was one
Mm.
also
And he
today.
even called someone and he held his hands. One of the devotees' hand he was holding. That was also mentioned. And
Yes,
most of the time too, I think he was able to understand what people are talking around him like that. He
exactly,
has become
exactly.
more responsive to external environment.
Environment and science and
Yeah,
gestures.
yeah, yeah, that's what. Though he could not speak, he's
Correct.
becoming more responsive to external environment and no more infections. So these are the positive things what we are seeing.
Jai Jai.
And mainly due to prayers, nothing else.
Yeah. I think if you see recently, everywhere across the world, they have held kirtans, yajnas, and prayers and chanting. So this is the effect of all that. So please continue. Every soul counts. Okay. Thank you all. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.